Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning, ready to greet a brand new day, only to feel a heavy, leaden weight holding your head down to the pillow? Or maybe you simply turned over to look at the alarm clock, and suddenly the entire bedroom started spinning like a runaway carousel, leaving you reaching out for anything stable to hold on to before your feet even touched the floor. I know how deeply frightening that moment is. It steals your confidence. It makes you feel unsafe in your own home. And what hurts the most is when you finally muster up the courage to tell someone, perhaps even your doctor, and they simply shrug their shoulders and say, "Well, what do you expect? It's just a normal part of getting older." Let me tell you something straight from my heart. It is absolutely not normal. You are not losing your mind. You are not overreacting, and you do not have to accept living in a world that refuses to stop spinning. Chingyam, I want to hear from you today because your story matters to me. Please take a moment right now to go down to the comments section and type out exactly when your dizziness usually hits you. Is it the very second you try to sit up in bed? Is it when you tilt your head back to look at a high shelf in the kitchen? Or does that heavy, unsteady feeling creep up on you late in the afternoon when your stomach is completely empty? Please share this with me. When you leave a comment, you aren't just typing words on a screen. You are letting me know that you are ready to take your life back. It helps me understand exactly what you are going through, so I can create the precise, life-changing videos you need next. More than that, your comment shows every other grandmother, grandfather, and lonely soul reading along that they are not alone in the dark with this fear. We are a family here, and we face this together. Today, we are going to look at the real, hidden reasons behind that dizziness, including vital insights on how proper hydration and blood sugar levels affect your balance. We will break down exactly how your body's internal systems work together, and I will give you a simple, beautiful morning routine that will help you step out of bed with total confidence once again. Now, to truly understand why the room starts spinning, we have to look closely at how our bodies change over time. The very first hidden culprit we need to address is what I call silent dehydration. As we celebrate more birthdays, a very specific and unusual change happens deep inside our brains. Our natural thirst mechanism begins to fade away. It is almost like driving a classic automobile, where the fuel gauge has stopped working. The gas tank is running dangerously low, but the little red warning light on your dashboard never comes on. You could be running completely dry on the inside, and yet your body will never actually tell you that you need a glass of water. Think about your blood vessels as small, winding rivers that travel all the way up to your head. When a drought hits and you don't drink enough fluids, the water level in those rivers drops significantly, causing the flow of blood to become incredibly slow and weak. Your brain is the most demanding organ in your entire body, constantly requiring a rich, steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to keep you upright and alert. When that vital fuel supply drops, your brain instantly sends out an emergency distress signal. It doesn't scream in pain. Instead, it makes you feel lightheaded, confused, and terribly unsteady on your feet. Many of my patients tell me, "But Dr. John, I drink plenty of liquids throughout the day. I always have my morning cup of coffee, and I love a glass of fruit juice with my lunch." My dear friends, I say this with the utmost care, but that is a major misunderstanding. Regular coffee and commercial black teas act as natural diuretics, which means they actually pull essential water out of your system rather than putting it back in. And those processed store-bought juices are often packed with high amounts of refined sugar, which causes a rapid spike and subsequent crash in your blood pressure, making your head feel heavier than before. So, how do we fix this silent drought and protect our bodies? The very first rule is simple. We need to aim for at least 1.5 liters of pure, clean water every single day. But here is the secret. You must never gulp it down all at once. If you drink a massive glass of water in one big hurry, your body cannot absorb it properly, and it will wash right through your system. Instead, keep a small, comfortable cup nearby and take gentle, frequent sips throughout the day. Think of it like watering a delicate garden plant. A slow, steady trickle allows the soil to soak up every single drop. To make this water even more powerful, I want to share a wonderful medical secret with you that I call the morning resurrection formula. Tomorrow morning, when you pour your first glass of water, squeeze in just a few fresh drops of lemon juice and add a tiny, microscopic pinch of high-quality sea salt. Please do not worry. This tiny bit of natural salt will not raise your blood pressure. What it will do is provide your body with essential trace minerals and electrolytes. These tiny minerals act like small magnets, holding the water inside your bloodstream so it can travel easily all the way up to your brain, instantly washing away that morning fog. The easiest way to check your progress is to pay attention to a simple sign from your own body, the color of your urine. If you go to the bathroom and notice it looks dark, heavy, or amber, like a cup of overbrewed black tea, your body is flashing a bright red warning sign that it is severely dehydrated. You need to reach for your water cup immediately. On the other hand, when you see a pale, clear, straw-like color, you can smile, knowing your internal rivers are full, flowing, and keeping your mind beautifully sharp. In fact, clinical studies show that simply correcting this hydration balance can completely eliminate mild dizziness in over 40% of older adults without ever needing a single prescription pill. Now that we have cleared the waters of hydration, we must look at the physical highways of your body, your circulatory system. Your brain is like a bustling, vibrant city, and your blood vessels are the grand highways carrying essential oxygen and nutrition to every single neighborhood. However, as the years go by, these highways naturally change. Due to decades of hard work, or perhaps a history of high blood pressure or cholesterol, the walls of your arteries can lose their youthful elasticity. They can become somewhat stiff and narrow, making it much harder for blood to flow smoothly and quickly up to your head. When these pathways become congested, certain delicate areas of your brain experience tiny, momentary brownouts, brief seconds where they don't get quite enough fuel. In that exact fraction of a second, you don't feel a sharp pain. Instead, you experience a sudden wave of dizziness, a brief blurring of your vision, or a temporary loss of stability that makes you want to reach out and grab the nearest wall. This is your body's way of telling you that the traffic on your circulatory highways has slowed down too much. There is also a hidden enemy that loves to take advantage of this stiffness, and its name is gravity. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes and try to pop out of bed like a coiled spring, gravity instantly pulls a massive amount of your blood downward into your legs and abdomen. In a younger body, the blood vessels snap shut immediately to pump that blood right back up to the head. But as we cross into our golden years, that automatic reflex can lag behind by just a few seconds. Doctors call this sudden drop in blood pressure orthostatic hypotension, and it is the exact reason why the world goes completely dark or starts to spin the very moment you stand up too fast. Thankfully, you do not have to accept this sudden darkness as a regular part of your day. There is a simple, beautiful routine you can use tomorrow morning to protect yourself, and it won't cost you a single penny. I call it the warm up the pump technique. When you first open your eyes, instead of rushing to stand up, I want you to gently roll over and sit comfortably on the very edge of your mattress for about 30 seconds. While you are sitting there, slowly circle your ankles clockwise, then counterclockwise, and gently stretch your calf muscles out in front of you. This simple movement does something incredible. It wakes up the large muscles in your lower legs, turning them into natural pumps that push the blood back up toward your heart and brain before your feet ever touch the cold floor. It gives your blood vessels those few necessary seconds to adjust to gravity, completely preventing that sudden, scary dizziness. Additionally, you can support your circulatory highways throughout the day, right at your dinner table. By adding healthy fats like omega-3s from wild-caught fish, along with natural foods like fresh garlic, onions, and dark leafy greens, you are giving your body the exact tools it needs to keep your artery walls smooth, flexible, and clear. But now, we need to talk about another major hidden cause of balance issues that many doctors completely overlook during your regular checkups. It involves a critical physical bridge in your body that experiences an enormous amount of wear and tear over the decades. The cervical spine, which is the delicate collection of vertebrae and muscles that make up your neck. Think of your neck as a narrow, vital bridge connecting your body to your brain's command center. Over a lifetime of reading books, looking down at knitting, or tending to chores, the muscles around this bridge can become incredibly tense, and the small bones, your vertebrae, can compress. When this area becomes stiff, it acts just like a kink in a garden hose, reducing the smooth flow of blood traveling upward. But even more surprisingly, this compression irritates the delicate nerve pathways that tell your brain exactly where your head is in space. Your upper neck bones are packed with specialized position sensors that work in perfect harmony with your eyes and ears. When these neck muscles are tight or inflamed, they start sending chaotic, confusing messages. Your eyes look straight ahead and tell your brain, we are standing completely still, but your stiff neck joints send a frantic signal saying, we are moving. This internal argument creates a profound sense of confusion inside your head, leading to sudden lightheadedness, a heavy brain fog, or even a frustrating ringing in your ears. I see this in my office all the time. Dear folks come in deeply worried, fearing they have a serious neurological condition, when in reality, their neck is simply exhausted and crying out for a little space and relief. A wonderful way to test if this is happening to you is to notice your movement. Does your dizziness worsen when you gently turn your head from side to side, or when you look up toward the ceiling? If it does, the issue is mechanical, and we can easily fix it by changing how we rest. To fix this mechanical strain on our vital bridge, we need to introduce some gentle habits into our daily routines. The very first place to start is right in your bed with the low pillow rule. Many of us love to prop ourselves up with 2 or 3 big fluffy pillows to read or watch television before sleeping. However, sleeping this way bends your neck at an unnatural angle for 8 long hours, straining the muscles and cutting off that smooth, natural blood flow to your brain. Try using a single supportive pillow that keeps your head perfectly level with your spine, allowing your neck to rest completely. Next, we must break the habit of sitting still for too long. If you love to knit, read, or solve crossword puzzles, try setting a small kitchen timer for 30 minutes. Every time that timer goes off, simply stand up, let your arms hang loosely at your sides, and gently roll your shoulders backward a few times. This releases the tension before it has a chance to lock your muscles up. You can also practice drawing small, invisible circles in the air with the tip of your nose. These tiny, slow movements gently lubricate the joints in your upper neck, bringing immediate relief. Now, we must step into a completely different room of the body to look at a highly sophisticated command center that controls your balance every single second of the day, your inner ears. It is important to know that I am not talking about your ability to hear sweet music or the voices of your grandchildren. Deep inside your ears lies a microscopic, fluid-filled marvel that acts as your body's personal gyroscope, telling your brain whether you are standing straight, bending down, or moving forward. Let's look at what happens when this delicate system experiences a tiny hiccup. Inside that deep, fluid-filled chamber of your inner ear, there are thousands of tiny, microscopic hair cells and a layer of delicate calcium crystals called otoliths. In a perfectly healthy system, these little crystals sit quietly on a bed of gel, helping your brain perceive gravity. However, as we cross into our 60s and 70s, that protective gel can thin out naturally. When this happens, a few of those tiny calcium crystals can break loose and float into areas where they don't belong, the fluid-filled semicircular canals. The moment you perform a simple, everyday movement, like rolling over in bed, tilting your head back to look at a high shelf, or bending down to tie your shoes, those loose crystals tumble through the fluid like pebbles in a glass of water. This movement bends the delicate hair cells, sending a frantic, false message to your brain that you are spinning at high speed, even though your feet are firmly planted on the floor. Doctors call this condition benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, or BPPV, and it is one of the most common causes of severe spinning in older adults. While a sudden attack of BPPV can feel incredibly overwhelming and terrifying, the good news is that it is completely treatable without any surgery or heavy medication. Specialists use gentle, precise head movements, such as the Epley maneuver, to safely roll those loose crystals back into their proper home, stopping the spinning instantly. Furthermore, recent clinical research from Harvard Medical School highlights that a deficiency in vitamin D can actually cause these calcium crystals to degrade and break loose much more frequently. By keeping your vitamin D levels optimal and nourishing your inner ear nerves with essential B vitamins, you can significantly strengthen this delicate balance system and prevent these frightening episodes from returning. Beyond the structural pathways of your neck and the delicate chambers of your ears, there is another hidden regulator of your daily balance that sits right on your dinner plate, your blood sugar level. Your brain is a beautifully sophisticated engine, but it is also incredibly demanding, consuming nearly 20% of your body's total energy every single day. Unlike other organs that can store extra fuel for later, your brain relies entirely on a constant, steady, second-by-second delivery of glucose through your bloodstream to keep you alert, focused, and steady on your feet. As we cross into our golden years, our metabolism naturally slows down, and our bodies become far more sensitive to long gaps between meals. If you skip breakfast or wait too long to eat lunch, your circulating blood sugar can plummet rapidly, a state known medically as hypoglycemia. When this sudden drop occurs, your brain instantly goes into an emergency survival mode, shutting down non-essential higher functions to conserve energy. This doesn't cause a physical ache. Instead, it blankets your mind in a thick fog, makes your vision blur, and leaves you feeling terribly weak, shaky, and lightheaded. When that sudden wave of empty stomach dizziness hits, many well-meaning folks make a critical, dangerous mistake. They reach for a quick fix, like a piece of hard candy, a sweet pastry, or a glass of sugary soda to snap themselves out of it. While this does bring a temporary rush of energy, it traps your body in a vicious medical cycle. That refined, simple sugar causes a massive, unnatural spike in your bloodstream, forcing your pancreas to overproduce insulin. Within a mere 30 minutes, your sugar levels will crash far lower than where they started, making the subsequent wave of dizziness and disorientation twice as severe as the first. To protect your balance from these sudden crashes, the secret lies in choosing foods that release energy slowly and evenly, acting like a sturdy log that burns gently in a fireplace all afternoon. Instead of reaching for refined carbohydrates, make sure your meals are built around high-quality proteins and complex fibers. A warm bowl of traditional oatmeal topped with a handful of walnuts, or a cup of plain Greek yogurt, provides the perfect combination of nutrients. This slow-release fuel keeps your blood sugar beautifully stable for hours, ensuring your brain always has the steady energy it needs to keep you walking with absolute confidence. Now, let's talk about a major factor that happens completely automatically, over 20,000 times a day, yet acts as a silent saboteur of your balance: the way you breathe. When we feel anxious, worried, or simply stiff from a long day, our breathing naturally shifts. Without even noticing it, we stop breathing deeply and begin taking shallow, rapid breaths, using only the upper part of our chest. You might think you are pulling in more oxygen this way, but from a medical standpoint, this pattern actually triggers a disruptive chemical imbalance inside your bloodstream. When you breathe too rapidly from your chest, you exhale far too much carbon dioxide. Many people believe carbon dioxide is just a waste gas, but medical science proves it plays a critical role in your body. It acts as the primary chemical key that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and open. When your carbon dioxide levels drop because of shallow breathing, the smooth muscles surrounding the arteries in your brain instantly contract and tighten up. This sudden tightening acts like a clamp on a hose, immediately reducing the rich, nourishing blood flow reaching your brain cells. The moment that blood flow drops, your brain sends out a wave of distress. You don't feel pain. Instead, you experience a strange, floating sensation, as if you are walking on soft, fluffy clouds, accompanied by a heavy pressure right behind your eyes and a frightening feeling that you might lose your footing. The wonderful news is that you possess a built-in biological switch that can completely reverse this chemical clamp in less than 60 seconds. I call this the calming diaphragmatic breath. Tonight, when you are resting in your favorite chair, I want you to place one hand gently on your stomach. Inhale slowly through your nose, focusing on pushing your belly out against your hand while keeping your chest perfectly still. This simple change allows the air to fill the deepest parts of your lungs, instantly balancing your blood chemistry and restoring a smooth, steady flow of oxygen to your brain. Once you have filled the deep chambers of your lungs, you must complete this therapeutic breath with a beautiful, healing rhythm. After that slow inhalation through your nose, I want you to pause and hold that gentle air inside your body for exactly 3 seconds. This brief, quiet pause is what I call the golden silence. It gives your lungs the perfect amount of time to stabilize your internal carbon dioxide levels, gently signaling to your arteries that it is safe to relax, open wide, and let the nourishing blood flow freely once again. After those 3 peaceful seconds, let the air out very slowly and smoothly through your mouth, pursing your lips slightly as if you were trying to blow out a delicate birthday candle without disturbing the wax. Try to repeat this beautiful pattern just 5 times in a row every morning before you get up and every evening before you close your eyes. This simple practice does so much more than just balance your internal chemistry. It acts as an immediate off switch for your sympathetic nervous system, melting away the stress that keeps your body tense and unsteady. Now, after decades of sitting with sweet patients and listening to their struggles, I have come to an important clinical conclusion. The true number one cause behind persistent dizziness in our golden years rarely acts completely alone. Instead, that heavy, spinning feeling is almost always the result of a communication breakdown between the three most important balance pillars in your body: your inner ears, your neck joints, and your heart. Think of this trio as a high-performing musical group inside your body. Your inner ear is the precise GPS device tracking your position, your neck joints are the sensitive movement detectors tracking which way you turn, and your heart is the strong motor pumping the necessary fuel to keep both systems running perfectly. When all three are healthy, you walk with total stability. But if your neck becomes stiff and sends false signals, or your inner ear becomes congested, the brain becomes completely overwhelmed by the conflicting data, causing you to lose your footing. When this delicate inner trio stops communicating properly, your brain is forced into a state of absolute confusion. It receives a message from your eyes saying you are stationary, a message from your stiff neck saying you are moving, and a frantic signal from your inner ear saying you are spinning. This internal chaos is the exact moment when the ground feels like it is shifting beneath your feet, your head feels as heavy as lead, and a wave of exhaustion washes over you. Your body isn't broken. Its main balance sensors are simply playing out of tune. To help you harmonize this internal orchestra, I want to share a second vital medical discovery that is rarely discussed in standard clinics. Recent international studies published in prominent neurological journals show that our balance is heavily dependent on a hidden factor called proprioception, which is your brain's ability to sense exactly where your limbs are without looking at them. As we grow older, the tiny nerve endings in the soles of our feet can become slightly less sensitive, especially if we have minor circulation issues. When your brain loses touch with the signals from your feet, it has to rely entirely on your ears and neck, making you feel twice as dizzy if those systems are strained. Fortunately, reawakening these sleepy nerve endings in your feet is incredibly simple and can be done right from the safety of your favorite armchair. Every afternoon, while you are watching the news or listening to music, take off your shoes and gently roll the arches of your bare feet over a clean, round tennis ball or a smooth rolling pin for just a few minutes. This gentle pressure instantly stimulates the deep nerve pathways, increasing the vital data flowing from your feet up to your balance center. By combining this simple foot stimulation with the hydration and neck habits we've discussed, you are giving your brain 3 solid points of contact to keep you perfectly anchored to the earth. Now that we understand how all these interconnected systems work, we don't need to climb high mountains or push ourselves through exhausting exercises to find relief. All I ask of you is to follow 3 simple golden rules to restore harmony to your body's internal orchestra. First, make it a point to irrigate your dry internal rivers by sipping clean, pure water throughout the day. Second, protect your vital bridge by keeping your neck relaxed, giving your blood vessels and nerves plenty of room to breathe. And third, support your heart by enjoying nourishing foods like fresh garlic, oats, and omega-3 rich fish, which keep your body's main pump working smoothly and effortlessly. If you can commit to these gentle adjustments for just 21 days, you will be absolutely amazed by the change. That heavy, stubborn fog clouding your mind will begin to lift, and the world around you will feel beautifully still and stable once again. To make this as easy as possible for you, I have put together a simple daily routine that you can start practicing tomorrow. This isn't just medical theory. It is a practical, step-by-step roadmap designed to help you regain your freedom and confidence right at home. The very first part of this routine begins the moment you wake up, and I call it the morning wake-up call. When you first open your eyes and see the morning light coming through the window, please promise me you won't rush to jump out of bed. Just lie there peacefully on your back for a moment. Slowly point your toes down, flex them back up, and gently circle your ankles in both directions. Take 3 deep, slow breaths into your stomach. This quiet, simple act tells your heart to start pumping blood smoothly up to your head, completely preparing your body to face gravity before you even think about standing up. Once you have finished those gentle ankle movements, slowly sit up and transition into the second part of your morning routine, the hydrating ritual. Reach for a comfortable glass of lukewarm water that you placed on your nightstand the evening before. Squeeze in those few fresh drops of lemon juice along with that tiny microscopic pinch of sea salt and sip it slowly while sitting on the edge of your bed. This simple, refreshing drink immediately wakes up your entire digestive system, restores the fluids you naturally lost overnight, and delivers essential electrolytes directly to your bloodstream to keep your brain beautifully alert. After you have finished your water, it is time for your anchor breakfast. Please try to avoid starting your day with sugary pastries, sweet cereals, or plain white toast, as these refined foods will only cause your blood sugar to spike and crash, triggering that heavy, unsteady feeling by mid-morning. Instead, choose a breakfast that acts as a solid anchor for your energy levels. Enjoy a couple of soft-boiled eggs, a bowl of warm oatmeal topped with walnuts, or some creamy Greek yogurt. This combination of protein and complex fibers ensures a slow, steady release of energy that will keep your mind sharp and your footing perfectly stable all the way until lunchtime. As you move through the middle of the day, remember to practice your vital bridge maintenance. If you find yourself sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, reading a book, sewing, or watching your favorite program, make sure to take a brief 5-minute break every hour. Stand up gently, let your arms relax completely, and slowly roll your shoulders backward. Lift your chin slightly, and use the tip of your nose to draw small, gentle circles in the air. This simple movement releases the accumulated tension in your cervical spine, keeping the pathways wide open so blood can flow effortlessly up to your head. Whenever you can, try to step outside into the fresh air for just a few minutes during the day to catch some warm sunshine. Getting an adequate amount of natural light does so much more than just brighten your mood. It helps your body produce vitamin D, which is essential for keeping the tiny balance crystals inside your inner ear strong, stable, and securely in place. Then, as the sun begins to set and you prepare for bed, turn on your internal calm switch. Spend just 2 minutes practicing those deep, gentle belly breaths, holding the air for 3 seconds before letting it go. This tells your nervous system that the day's work is done and it is safe to rest deeply. If you ever wake up on a difficult morning and feel the room start to tilt, please remember what we talked about today and do not let fear take over. When we panic, our bodies release stress hormones that cause our blood vessels to tighten up, which only makes the dizziness worse. Instead, stop what you are doing, sit down safely, take a slow breath, and sip some water. Give your body a few quiet moments to find its footing. By practicing these small, loving acts of daily self-care, you will gradually guide your body back to a place of complete stability and strength. My dear friends, please hold this truth close to your heart. This lightheadedness is not a permanent sentence you have to live with. It is simply a message from your body, asking for a little more hydration, movement, and gentle care. You can absolutely reclaim the steady confidence of your steps and the beautiful clarity of your mind without having to rely on expensive prescriptions for the rest of your days. Thank you so much for spending this precious time with me today. Keep your heart strong, take care of your beautiful self, and I cannot wait to see you right here in our next video.